Fateful Genes. In search of family secrets. Mark felt his heart pounding as he entered the medical center. The white walls, the smell of antiseptics, and the silence interrupted only by the nurse's whispers behind the reception desk created an atmosphere underscoring the importance of the upcoming moment. He took a step forward, determined to change his life. Recently, Mark had decided to switch careers and applied for a job at a major technology company. But his path to change didn't start with a resume or an interview. It began with a simple medical examination. "Mark Edwards," the nurse's voice echoed from behind the reception. He stood up and approached her, despite a slight tremor in his knees. Handing over the necessary documents, Mark sat down to wait. Minutes felt like hours until the nurse returned with a sealed envelope. Mark's heart raced as she handed him the results. "This is not just a medical report," she said, looking at him with curiosity. "There's something special. You might want to read this." Mark took the envelope, noticing the label "genetic analysis" in the corner of his eye. Reluctantly, he opened it and began reading the results, unaware that this moment would change his life forever. The decision to investigate. On a white sheet of paper adorned with the medical center's logo, Mark saw strange numbers and letters. He wasn't a genetics expert, but something unusual in the results caught his attention. "Matching genes from my father," he mumbled, sensing that this discovery held profound meaning. Determined to understand, Mark headed home to share the news with his mother. That evening, in the living room, he told her about the remarkable discovery. His mother's face first showed confusion, then astonishment. "Mom, I have some genes from a father I never knew," Mark said, looking into his mother's eyes, whose memories of the past barely wavered. His mother, with an excited and mysterious smile, recounted how his father disappeared many years ago. He lost his memory after an accident and embarked on a journey, leaving no traces behind. His mother struggled to manage the weight of caring for the family alone. "We didn't know what happened to him and had lost all hope," she said, a touch of sadness in her voice. Deciding that this coincidence might be the key to unraveling the mystery of his father, Mark resolved to start his investigation. He planned to reach out to other family members and try to find people who knew his father before his disappearance. A fire of determination and a thirst for solving family mysteries ignited within him. Meeting with his mother. The next morning, Mark woke up with a sense of determination. He decided to begin his investigation by gathering more information from his mother. Armed with questions and concerns, Mark headed to the house where he spent his childhood. The door opened when he rang, and his mother appeared at the threshold. Her eyes expressed a mixture of surprise and hope. "Mark, what are you doing here so early?" she asked, inviting him inside. "Mom, I need to learn more about Dad. I want to understand what happened to him and why his genes are so deeply intertwined with mine," Mark explained, sinking into the old armchair in the living room. His mother listened attentively, sitting across from him. She recalled the challenging moments of the past when she faced life's challenges alone. Mark's words stirred old wounds in her soul. "Son, I also want to know the truth. But you must be prepared. It might be painful," she whispered, embracing her son. Thus began a long conversation between Mark and his mother, unraveling family secrets, tales of lost time, and the struggle with the unknown. Through the conversation, Mark realized that his decision to explore the past not only changed his personal life but also brought hope for a reunion with the one he had lost. A random coincidence. Leaving his mother behind, immersed in contemplation and internal turbulence, Mark decided to take a breath of fresh air outside. Under the summer sun, he felt a mixture of joy and anxiety battling within him. On the way to the medical center for additional tests, Mark pondered what other secrets his father might hold. Approaching the reception, he felt nervous again, awaiting new results. The nurse greeted him with a smile and handed him a folder with the results. "Everything's ready," she said. Clutching the folder in his hands, Mark found a page detailing the genetic analysis. "Father's genes, a match," he read, feeling his heart beating even faster. He confidently headed to the doctor's office to learn more. The doctor, shaking his hand, explained the results attentively. "Your genes completely match those of a man who came to us several years ago. An accident erased his memory, and he spent many years wandering until he decided to undergo a medical examination." Mark stared at the doctor in amazement. It was more than he expected. His father, who had lost his memory, coincidentally ended up in his son's city and decided to undergo tests, becoming the key to their reunion. This coincidence led to something much greater than he could have imagined: new beginnings. That evening, Mark returned home with not only the test results but also a new perspective on his family history. His father, who had lost his memory and wandered for years, suddenly became a part of his life. His mother, excited about the possibility of reunion, looked at her son with gratitude. "Mom, we can rebuild our family," Mark said, smiling. He understood that new possibilities were opening up before them and wanted to share this joy with his mother. In the following weeks, father and son spent a lot of time together. They shared memories and created new moments. Slowly, like bricks, memories returned to the father, and each day was a new step in their shared journey. Mark also found the strength to navigate through the challenges of his father adapting to a new life and supported him in every step. Despite losing his memory, the father felt an indescribable connection with his son, as if it wasn't their first meeting. New beginnings meant not only reunion but also the restoration of the family as a whole. Mark realized that his decision to start the investigation led to something incredibly valuable. The family that seemed lost was once again becoming the center of his life, filling it with new meaning and significance. Journey into the past. Mark and his father, who now called himself David, decided to embark on a journey together. They visited places connected to David's past, hoping each would trigger memories. In every corner of the city, on every street, they searched for traces of the lost life. The first stop was an old park where David had spent a lot of time. Walking among the trees and benches only brought fleeting memories, none vivid enough to fully bring back the past. Then they visited the place where David worked before the accident. Familiar faces of colleagues elicited only vague recollections, and everything seemed like a distant dream. Soon their journey led them to an old cafe where David used to have breakfast. And here, something happened. Sitting by the window and looking at the street, David suddenly froze, as if a wave of memories had overtaken him. He remembered his usual morning ritual, his favorite table, and even the familiar taste of coffee. Mark, noticing the change in his father's expression, looked at him in surprise. In that moment, they both understood that the journey into the past was beginning to bear fruit. For David, each memory was like a bright beam in the dark labyrinth he had wandered for all those years. As they reconstructed moments, their connection strengthened, and a new chapter in their family history took on clearer contours. Reunion with family. The memory of David meeting with his family in that same cafe where he had spent numerous mornings opened a new page in his recollection. Increasingly, smiling faces of relatives and friends flickered in his memories. Mark watched as memories came alive in his father's eyes, and in this spectacle, he saw the return of long-lost joy. Reuniting with the family members David had lost turned out to be no less emotional. The brother, sister, and friends who had searched for the missing one for many years were amazed by the changes that had occurred in him. Family gatherings became for David not only an opportunity to restore lost connections but also to feel once again that he was not alone. Mark became a pillar and a bond between his father and the family. Together, they overcame difficulties and created new memories. Pride shone in his eyes for the impact his decision to explore his family history had brought about in their lives. During this period of family reunion, each family member who had felt the loss of David discovered new values. Family became not just a word for them but a living force capable of illuminating the darkest corners of memory and reviving feelings that seemed lost. Discovery of new horizons. Over time, the relationships within Mark and David's family deepened, and they realized that their connection was not only being restored but transformed. Thanks to his son and the family's support, David acquired new skills and interests, even despite the memory loss. Mark, introducing his father to new horizons, suggested they start learning computer technologies together. The old computer in their home became the center of their joint activities. David, with amazement, discovered the digital world, and Mark rejoiced in seeing his father, despite all difficulties, finding joy in learning again. Family gatherings and events became a new norm for this reunited family. They spent weekends in nature, organized family dinners, and celebrated holidays together. Laughter and joyful voices filled Mark's home, making each day special. David managed to find a new job, and his experience and skills, despite memory loss, became valuable assets in his new field of work. It was a reason for all family members to take pride in David's achievements and be inspired by his determination. Mark understood that their family history, starting with a genetic coincidence, had become a tale of rebirth and restoration. He looked at his father with deep respect and gratitude for, despite all challenges, they had overcome together and created a new, happy chapter in their lives. Stronger together. Mark and David's family became an inseparable team. Their mutual understanding and support were like a fabric, connecting each family member. Together, they went through tough times and celebrated joyful events, gaining confidence that, facing difficulties, they were stronger together. Mark continued to inspire his father. They engaged in sports together, learned new things, and discovered the world within and around them. Each day became a new adventure filled with smiles, jokes, and love. Thanks to his son's constant support, David became open to new possibilities. He regained lost skills and even started writing his memories to pass them on to future generations. This process turned out to be not only therapeutic but also a way to share his unique experience with the world. Family stories and memories became a valuable legacy they passed on to each other. Mark and David once again felt part of something greater than just a family. They became an inseparable arc of values and love. The life of their family became a kind of message about how important it is to cherish each moment, how overcoming difficulties can strengthen bonds, and how love can be a truly healing factor. A new stage of life. The final chapter unfolds in the morning in a family where laughter and joy fill every corner of the house. Mark, standing in front of the mirror, sees the reflection of a smiling person with a determined gaze. His soul is filled with gratitude for what has happened and readiness for new challenges. David, in his new glasses, attentively reads the newspaper, smiling as he listens to Mark's account of the upcoming workday. He realizes how his life has changed, thanks to the support and love of the family. Each day becomes a new chance and adventure. The family gathers together for breakfast, sharing plans for the day. Conversations and laughter fill the house with warmth, creating an atmosphere of true unity. All family members feel that they have become not just a family, but a real team, where each contributes to the common happiness. Mark, finishing his story, meets the gazes of his family, and in their eyes, he sees pride and love. They realize that their story has become not only a tale of reunion but also an inspiring example for others. This chapter concludes with a scene where the family, holding hands, looks towards the future. Many new stages await them, but they know that they can overcome any difficulties because together they are stronger. Their life has transformed into an amazing adventure, and each new day is a chance to create new memories and joys.